Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Missal, first of all, I want to thank you for taking the time to reach out to our office. I appreciated the opportunity to visit with you personally. And as I told you in our first meeting, I questioned whether or not you'd really thought this thing through, wanting to jump right into the middle of this thing. As Secretary McDonald has found out, I think this is like a swamp, and it's filled with gators, and every time you try to drain it, you've got one more gator biting someplace that you don't like. And yet, at the same time, you're volunteering to step into this mess. And you can play an integral part in fixing this for veterans across the United States. But I think there's some things here that are going to stand in your way of getting that done, and I'd like to give you an opportunity to specifically address some of those for everyone here. You've got great private practice experience. You come with a wealth of private background information and education and so forth, and clearly you have been successful. But if you take a look at what's happened in the rest of government, and I'm not going to claim this to be successful in government, but if you take a look at what has been the past practice, 6 out of the 11 Senate-confirmed IGs for cabinet-level agencies have first served as the IG for a smaller agency. You don't have any experience as an IG. Of the remaining 5 Senate-confirmed IGs for cabinet-level agencies, 2 first served leadership roles at IG offices. The remaining 3 Senate-confirmed IGs for cabinet-level agencies all first had significant experience with federal criminal investigations or prosecutions. And since the VA became a cabinet-level agency, every single Senate-confirmed IG has had prior experience as an IG in a leadership role at an IG office or in a federal criminal investigation. Sell yourself. How are you going to make up for the lack of experience in an IG office, walking in with a large group of over 650 members who are IGs and work in an IG office? How do you go about bringing them onto your team, and why do you have the capability and the private experience that would equal or surpass what we would expect from other individuals working through the experience in an IG's office?
Sure. Well, first of all, I have been in the government before. I worked as a prosecutor at the Securities and Exchange Commission, so I've gotten that experience there. Since I've been in private practice, I've worked very extensively with government officials, other regulators, prosecutors, and inspector generals as well. In addition, my experience in the private practice has been really focused on the 3 main areas that you're looking for in an IG, which is investigations, audit, and inspections. And I think I can take that experience and I can demonstrate to the office that I'm somebody who could be a highly effective inspector general.
There's been a discussion already about data integrity and the fact that the acting inspector general now has testified that the inspector general's office can't trust VA self-reported data showing a reduction in the backlog of disability claims, and they move on through this process, and I'm sure you're aware of that. How do you go fixing this system if you can't trust the data from the system itself? What would you recommend to begin getting accurate data so that you can make good recommendations?
One thing you're going to want to do is to be testing whatever information you're getting if you do have a question about it, to see if there are any red flags or other issues that raise a question. And then in other situations, what has been done is to broaden a third party as well. If you can't trust what you're getting in a certain situation, sometimes bringing in a third party, sometimes on a temporary basis, has been very helpful.
A significant part of the VA's responsibilities has to do with the delivery of health care. Do you have a background in delivery of health care or in reviewing and looking at health care delivery systems?
I do. I've been involved in several cases involving health care. In addition, as part of my management responsibilities, I manage our nationwide healthcare practice.
You've had several months now to look at the VA. As an outsider looking in. As an inspector general, what's the first thing you do when you walk in the door should you be selected to do this job?
The first thing I would do would be to immerse myself into the IG's office, to review the practices, the policies, the priorities that they have, and to make any improvements that I believe are necessary. In addition, I think it's critically important to meet with senior management as well. I understand you need to be independent from management of the VA. There's a very important independence role. On the other hand, I think you need to make sure that they understand that they have somebody who's going to look at things fairly and objectively. Because I think you want to get out in front of some of these issues before they become bigger issues. And part of that is getting to talk to management and seeing what their issues are.
My time has expired, but I would ask one last question, a yes or a no answer, I believe. You're going to need a plan. Would you commit that you will bring back to this committee a plan for putting this in order so that you can actually lay out for the Secretary a pathway forward so that he can actually get things done in there? Would you commit to providing a plan on how you can be an effective IG when the time comes?
Yes.
Thank you.